Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 12, verse number 15. So, they did take him away, and they all agreed to throw him down to the bottom of the well. Remember in the earlier verses, they had two choices. One, someone suggested, okay, kill him rather, just kill him outright. And one of the brothers showed some compassion and he said, don't kill him, let's just get rid of him, right? So they took him away after they managed to convince their father that, you know what, they mean him well, they will look after him. Even if the wolf comes, they would lay down their lives to make sure that Yusuf alayhi salam is being protected and safe from harm, right? But meanwhile, they were the wolves, they were the danger, right? So they did take him away, and they all agreed to throw him down to the bottom of the well. And we put into his heart this message: of a surety, you shall one day tell them the truth of this, their affair, while they know you not. Now can you imagine this young fellow Yusuf alayhi salam? He's thrown down into the darkness of a deep well. Maybe the water is up to his waist or up to his chest, and he's fearful that what is going to happen. Is he going to drown? Is he going to die in this well? Can you imagine the thoughts that's going out through his brain? Can you imagine him maybe shouting out and calling for his brothers to say, what are you all doing? Why did you all throw me here? What is going on? What did I do wrong? My father will be worried. Just take me back home. We don't know what kind of discussion was there, but for any normal human being, from a psychological point of view, a great traumatic event already started happening in his young life. Also PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and so on. Great emotion, because the very people that he trusted, his elder brothers who were there supposed to look after him, the elder brother threw the younger brother down into the deepest part of the dark well. And there could have been a possibility that it could have even drowned. But fortunately, maybe the water wasn't all that deep, right? At least the water was probably not to his nose level. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the inspiration into his heart and into his mind that surely, definitely, guaranteed one day, surely, of a surety, one day, you will tell them the truth of this, what they have done to you. So here, Yusuf alayhi salam, at his young and tender age, although he did not realize it immediately, he probably got calmness and sakina, but he realized that there's a long road ahead of him. But he's given the assurance that, look, he's not going to die in this well, because one day he's going to become strong, and he will then be in a position to confront his brothers again, and he will tell them the truth of everything that they did, because he will know, he will then tell them, you are the same guys, I trusted y'all, and y'all betrayed me. So he can only do that from a position of power and authority. So already in the earlier verses, we are being given a hint or a clue as to the high status that awaits Yusuf alayhi salam. But he has got to go through the mills. He's got to go through this process of difficulty and trials and tribulations. And the lesson here is that a diamond cannot be polished without friction. If you want to polish a diamond, you got to rub very hard. You can't use a soft cloth to polish diamond. You got to use a very rough cloth. Similarly, to develop character, to develop a person, it is the various tests and trials and tribulations that are polishing you. So the word of hope here for all of us, anyone who's going through any difficulty in life, whether you are suffering, whether it is pain, emotional pain, or difficulty, or betrayal, or you're finding it difficult to find a job, or you've just lost a job, you're finding it difficulty to earn money, and so on, and you're going through some difficulty or trauma through life, just remember the hope there is that you are being polished to be a glittering diamond, and that this too shall pass. And the big message is being given here is to have sabr. Have patience, O Yusuf. One day, we don't know when, it may take a few years, but have sabr, because guaranteed one day a time is going to come when you're going to look them in the face and you're going to tell them exactly the truth of what they did. You're going to tell them the plotting and planning of what they did, and you're going to tell them everything to their shock, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows exactly what is going on, right? When they came to their father in the early part of the night weeping, once again, the weeping is crocodile tears. They know exactly what they've done. They know they're plotting and planning. Now imagine they all got together. They threw Yusuf alayhi salam down into the dark well, and now they're probably gathering and say, you know what, we've done that. What do we do now? Okay, let's go back to our father now, correct? We got to pretend we're crying there. We got to pretend, right? So I don't know whether they took onions to make them cry, but they managed to make a convincing case of weeping, that they were sincerely remorseful. They tried their level best to save him, and they did everything they could, but they just couldn't manage. So this is also concocting a plot and a plan, because they thought they can fool their father. But the father is a wise man, right? They said, "Oh, our father, we went racing with one another and left Joseph with our things, and the wolf devoured him. But you will never believe us, even though we tell the truth." Right? They got an inkling that their father doesn't really like them, because now and then, they're eating fast ones. They're not really straight arrows. So now they also alerted the father, look, we're telling you the truth, but you're not going to believe us. Meanwhile, this is another story that they made up, right? They stained his shirt with false blood. He said, Yaqub alayhi salam listened to their story, and he examined the shirt of his youngest son Yusuf and said, "Nay, but your minds have made up a tale. You're not telling the truth. This is a fanciful story. This is falsehood that you are telling me. I don't trust you guys. I don't believe you what you are telling me." So, nay, but your minds have made up a tale that may pass with you. For me, patience is most fitting. Against that which you assert, it is Allah alone whose help can be sought. So now this tells us the powerful lesson and the attribute of sabr. That whatever we're going through, whether it is a false tale, whether we are being falsely accused and so on, and if you don't have the evidence immediately, then you put your trust in Allah, tawakkul to Allah, say, Ya Allah, give me sabr, because indeed Allah is with those who are patient, right? Allahumma sabirin. Allah is with those who are patient. And then we know the other story of the beloved wife of Nabi Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi Was'sal'lam, Aisha radiallahu anha, when she was falsely accused by the hypocrites Abdullah ibn Ubay, and she used the same phrase, that patience is most fitting for me. Right. Now, I'm just going to pause here and just mention the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam. The shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam plays three very, very important, significant events in his life. The first time that the shirt is mentioned is here in the case of the brothers who brought the shirt to the father. The shirt is basically like a witness who is testifying for Yusuf alayhi salam. Because when the father examined the shirt, he saw, yes, the shirt has got blood on it. No doubt about that, right? Because what they did, they probably slaughtered a sheep, which they probably then ate for lunch. And when they slaughtered the sheep, they put the blood of the sheep on the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam. So let's just look very, very briefly the significance of the three events when the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam plays a significant role in his life. So the first time, so this we're going to look at the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam. The first event is with the wolf. The second event is with lust. And the third event is with vision. That is why this is called a magnificent shirt, miraculous shirt. In the first instance, when the brothers brought the shirt, so we're just talking about the shirt, right? When the brothers brought the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam, Yaqub alayhi salam, the father, he examined the shirt. Yes, it was drenched in blood, most likely the blood of a sheep. But the shirt bore witness. In what way? This shirt was a witness that the brothers were lying. Because when Yaqub alayhi salam and the Prophet Jacob examined the shirt, he found that the shirt was not torn or nor ripped to pieces. And that's a part the brothers forgot. So that is how their plotting and planning was uncovered. Because if a wolf grabs you and kills you with blood all over, then surely that shirt will be ripped to pieces. But here they brought a nice shirt, they just soaked it in blood and they gave it to Jacob, right? So there they made a mistake. So in the first case, this shirt bore witness that don't worry, there's a clue that Yusuf alayhi salam is alive. He is not dead. The wolf did not kill him. The brothers have made up a story, and now their story, they are being exposed for the lie that they are saying, right? So that's the first instance. That is why Yaqub alayhi salam said, okay, I need patience now. At least I got the good news. He's not dead. The wolf did not kill him. The shirt is basically telling me that he's alive. I don't know where he is. I don't know what the brothers have done to him, and I'm going to embrace sabr. The second time when the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam plays a significant part in his life is when there was a carnal desire or lust by the wife of Aziz, where she trapped Yusuf alayhi salam all alone in the room. And he saw the sign of Allah. He quickly controlled himself and he ran to the door. And as they opened the door, the husband was there. The master of the house was standing there. And as the woman is, she quickly thought on her feet and she accused Yusuf, say, hey, this guy attacked me in my room. What is the punishment for someone who did such a terrible thing? So she was very sharp. And this guy, the poor fellow, was naive. He did not know what is going on. Then fortunately, one of the other members of the household gave a beautiful, very logical explanation to say, okay, here are two people all alone in a room, man and woman, young, handsome man and the woman of the house. She is saying that he attacked her. He is saying that no, she seduced him. Who is right and who is wrong? And so the lady said, examine the shirt. Once again, the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam. If the shirt is torn from the back, that means he was running away from home. And if the shirt is torn from the front, it means he was attacking her, and then her word is correct. So the lord of the house, the master of the house, he examined the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam, and he saw that yes, indeed, the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam was torn from the back. That means he was running away from the woman, and she was in fact falsely accusing him. So once again, the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam bore witness to his truth. An amazing shirt, right? And an amazing parable and example for us. And in the third case, where the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam plays a very significant role, is towards the end of the story. He then, once he reveals himself who he is, that as the king of Egypt, or as the senior prime minister of all financial affairs in the whole area, he then tells his brothers, take this shirt of mine and put it over my father's face, and his vision will be restored. So this is the miracle of the shirt, right? It made a blind man see again. So these are the three incidences where the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam plays an amazing and significant role in the life of Yusuf alayhi salam. Right, so let's continue with that. So they stained his shirt with false blood. He said, "Nay, but your minds have made up a tale. This is a fanciful story that may pass with you. You may believe it. You guys have made up the story. I'm not going to believe what you guys are telling me. But at least I've got a clue that the wolf did not kill him or eat him because the shirt is not ripped to pieces. So for me, patience, sabr is most fitting against that which you assert. It is Allah alone whose help can be sought." Then there came a caravan of travelers. They sent their water carrier for water, and he let down his bucket into the well. He said, "Ah, there! Good news! Here is a fine young man." So they concealed him as a treasure, but Allah knows well all that they do. Join me in the next episode. Alhamdulillah.